bags are packed, are you ready to go? This time tomorrow we'll be on the road, riding with you in the sunnier days. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Children of Éarte. We're so excited to see you, especially after our week away from gameplay. I hope you enjoyed Sam and I last week. There were like 4 things that popped into my head after last week. I was like, oh man, I should have said that. So next time I'm on, I've got more to say, if you can believe it. But it was a pleasure to join Sam and talk last week. And I'm so excited to be back now with more adventure. I hope you enjoyed our music video from Adam and Hope extraordinaire. So exciting. I have not seen it yet because I'm, as I said, not technologically proficient enough to do 2 things at once. So I can't wait to watch it later. But first, without further ado, Adam, why are we here? Who helps us be
we
here
have
today?
sponsors who help us
my
put
goodness.
on this show
How nice of
every
them.
single week. And it seems like you would know that after 44 episodes. But here we go. We've got incredible sponsors. Thank you so much, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can grab an Electrum chest code on the overlay or bouncing around in chat. Thank you so much for the support as always. We have Die Hard Dice. You can get 10% off with any purchase there using the code Éarte. And we are still giving away we are still giving away a $20 discount code. Pay attention to the prompts in chat for that. And thank you, Die Hard Dice. And then we have, I think this is going to be our last week for this, but we have some additional product keys for Tailspire. So the 3D incredibly beautiful and detailed virtual tabletop Tailspire. You can pick up, I think we're giving away 5 keys here tonight. So if you haven't tried that yet, you can grab a Steam key and give it a spin. I'm really excited about everything that they are doing there. And I forgot during the Die Hard part, so I'm going to come back to Dice for just a moment. But Die Hard has gifted our cast, and again, thanks at Tall Halfling, has gifted our cast with Lauren's Launchers of Lore. Lauren's Launchers of Lore.
I love it.
And
Launchers of Lore.
I thought it was Launchers of Luck, but I think I like Launchers of Lore more.
I mean,
that was a good letter, though, I gotta say.
I think either can work.
I mean, especially after the last couple of episodes with all the awesome lore drops, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That's it. And finally, tonight you will hear the dulcet tones of Sirenscape, because epic games need epic sound. You also heard Bandit right there barking. So Bandit is really tore up right now because it is apparently rabbit season. And so we cannot keep him contained.
Thank you. I was trying to figure out how to get duck season in there.
He is jacked out of his mind with energy and emotion. All right. So I normally, not just tonight, I'm the CDO of Demiplane. We've got a lot of interesting things going on. We've got some big news coming in these next couple of weeks. So you can watch me on Dev Updates Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific right here on this channel. And like I said, the next couple of weeks, lots of stuff going on. So tune in if you're able to, especially if you care about Pathfinder. Some big news coming for that pretty soon here. And tonight I am playing Silas Sorrell, your dimensionally displaced magical super fan.
I love it.
Got through it.
Hey everybody, I'm Alicia Marie. You can find me on socials at Alicia Marie Body. I'm a professional costumer. I love that it sounds for professional costume artist.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah. Look at it. And obviously I'm an RPG performer. And actually I'm really excited because the end of this month kicks off convention season for me. So I feel like I'm on tour. I'll be at so many conventions this summer. So I'm really excited. I feel special. Anyway, tonight I am playing Fairuza Armstrong, and I'm really excited because it's going to be cold. finally, where we are.
Finally.
Finally.
Oh, enough with all this hot snow.
Mhm.
Ocean water.
It's just been flaming ash. We thought it was snow. No one thought to check the temperature.
The ice zombies were just, it was their demeanor. It had nothing to do with the ice.
It's all
The tones of their decaying flesh.
Mhm.
That was terrible. I'm sorry.
Fired.
Apologetically.
After rabbit season, duck season, you get a pass the rest of the episode.
I'll take it. Hello, I am Jen Kretchmer. I am on the interwebs as @DreamWisp and streaming on Twitch as DreamWispJen. We just announced a game that I worked on for Modifius called Dreams and Machines. It's a brand new universe on Free Tabletop Day. They are going to be putting out a coloring book for the world of Avera Prime, so you'll get to
I love it.
see some giant robots and other things and get introduced to the world of Avera Prime. Please check it out. It's really, really cool. And then I have some other things cooking that I will share when they're shareable. But
When they're cooked.
tonight,
Yeah.
I will brief. I will be playing your friendly neighborhood troublemaker, Maeve Morgan Flynn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content manager over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. But don't look for me. I want you to go look for Take This, because takethis.org does a lot of amazing things for the gaming community, including Champions of Psychology, which is a show that is on the C&E Games channel, which happens on Tuesdays. But next Tuesday, starting on May 15th, there's going to be a fundraiser starting. They're doing a Champions of Psychology apparel drive from Custom Ink. So definitely follow takethis.org and follow Idle Champions too, because you're going to want to get one of these sweatshirts or t-shirts or something, because first off, they're awesome. And second off, it's for an amazing cause. And tonight I'm going to be playing Carolyn Neb Stern, who's going to be looking for mirror pieces for an amazing cause, which is trying to help her friends get home.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at the Hope LaVelle. You can watch me be a dungeon master on Misfits of Alceta on Wednesdays on the That's How We Roll channel. But tonight, I am playing Miss Robin Beckett, your granny for hire.
Yay. And before I jump in, I want to throw it just to Josh Simons. Big round of applause. We mention Sirenscape every week, and Josh always helps me figure all that out because I don't know what I'm doing. And so, yeah, I send him some ideas of what I'm looking for, and he throws together and DJs all this and gets us all going. So, yeah, big special shout out this week to Josh, who we're all so grateful for.
Yay.
Thank you,
Doctor.
And I'm Deborah Ann Woll. I'm your storyteller for this evening. I'm very excited to get out on this glacier here, and I got a little Midwestern there for a minute. Augie was coming back.
Miss her.
I know. I kind of miss her too. But yeah. So I guess without further ado, let's get something cozy and warm to drink. A lot of us have our fancy warm drinks and settle in for the 44th chapter. This is a long book, you guys, of Children of Éarte. So where we last left off, you all had spent some time on the train. You did your watches, you got your information, and the train had just pulled into the station for Belcastle Cap. It was a very bare bones station covered in thick ice that glistens sort of almost blue, pale blue in the daylight. From here, you can see it is an enormous glacier, a big bowl of snow on the side of the mountain. You can see that right now the train tracks seem to be the bottom of the movement of this glacier, but of course, over time, that is just going to continue to push its way down through the forest and probably all the way to the ocean eventually. But for now, here is where it is. It's a big bowl in front of you, and along the ridge of this kind of crater, the rim of the crater, are two paths. They are icy, they are rocky. You can see down in the bowl, the ice itself is all cracks and grooves and dangerous precipices. Up at the very top of the crater, where the paths kind of go around and meet up at the top, is the top of a mountain, a spire of the sort of tallest peak in this area. It is just straight, sheer, pointy rocks up at the top. What would you like to do?
And we're just standing on the platform,
You've
all of us
collected-
just staring at this moment.
You've collected your gear. You are out on this icy, wooden train platform, deciding what to do.
And we see and hear nothing.
Yeah,
It's
just the blow of the wind. I mean, this is, open tundra. It's just whistling wind. The wind is quite strong as you sort of start to take that in. You can already feel your muscles tensing as you hunch against it, and your leg muscles activate to keep you stable in one place. Those of you with the crampons, it's a little bit easier. Those of you in the snowshoes, you feel a little slidey, but you grab on and are able to hold yourself.
So
Well-
we can go left or right, sort of, right? Wasn't there we can go one direction or another?
Well, back in my day, I was a hedge mage chopper person, and I always made the
Wait,
mazes.
did you just say you were a hedge mage? Like a wizard?
hedge
Can we Google that?
maze?
Oh my God, character alert.
I mean, I think I would
Stop
believe
giving me
both.
NPC ideas.
I would totally believe both, that she was both a mage and a maze person.
You know,
Sorry,
at my
Robin.
old age, I can't
And a
remember.
hedge.
But when I was making my mazes, you would always want to make it to where you want to go left. I feel like going left and then left and then left, it makes a right, and then you get to the center of the Tootsie Pop and you're ready to go.
So you think left, right?
The hedge mazes have Tootsie Pop centers.
I would always put a Tootsie Pop in the center of my maze.
Wow,
Good to know.
Yeah, I should have walked your mazes.
I went to different hay rides when I was a kid.
So I guess left?
Right.
Right?
Left.
I'm with left, yeah. Left feels right.
Would you like to point in the
Yeah.
direction where we're going? Because I'm very confused now.
I think she said we're going left, right?
You're not helping.
Third base. Also, we're going in that direction, correct?
Yes. We've made the decision as a group, and we're going to stick by it, whatever comes, what may.
No, December.
This is going to be an exhausting walk if we're going to have to deal with all of this.
I might not ever see a baseball game again, speaking of third base.
I mean,
You
Are
can't
there-
think like that. If you want, we can go. I'll grab my mitt. And we can go throw the ball around if it makes you feel
You have
better.
a mitt with you?
do we have a ball?
Ball?
You guys,
Well, a baseball or a softball or something.
oh, we got snowballs.
That's true. They won't last for very long, but they'll be fun. And if you accidentally hit the pitcher, it's not that big of a deal.
Depends on what kind of snowball you're making. Are we going left? Is left
Correct.
the final
The
decision?
one.
Yes.
Left is the one. Yeah.
Okay. It is a narrow path. You cannot walk 2 by 2. This is a single file path. Along the way, you can see that some rock piles have been made, little cairns. You can see that they're probably taller than they look, but the snow has grown up around them, so you're only seeing the top couple of stones. But they do seem to, go around the perimeter of this crater, this glacier.
Hmm.
So as you head left, just give me a marching order.
Ooh.
Is this? Do we need any special foot equipment in order to walk this trail?
So you have 3 sets of crampons and 3 snowshoes. So between the 6 of you, you can decide who wears what. I think we did make some decisions last
did.
time.
We
did,
So if you
yeah.
remember, crampons are good for ice. Snowshoes are good for deep snow. This right now is an icy path. The glacier itself seems to be more snow. You can, I think, yes, we have crampons are Fairuza, Silas, and Maeve, snowshoes, Robin, Pivum, and Neb. You still have your harnesses from the mine. So if you want those, I believe you don't bear very much rope, but you could figure out something for that. Yeah.
We have 5 harnesses.
Yes. So so I just need whatever marching order you want to take as you move left up the trail.
Ordinarily, I would happily go down first, and I'm fine with it now. But also, I've kind of figured out that I can, kind of like do things with my mind, and so if I'm concentrating enough, and if someone falls and falls badly, I could, maybe, catch them. And so, like, it might be a good idea for me to go last, where I can just like keep an eye on whatever's happening.
Okay,
that makes sense. What do we do if you fall?
Well, if I fall, then I'm going to concentrate on catching myself. Okay. But at least I would know it, right?
That's true.
Yeah, yell out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the yelling out will come pretty naturally, but we'll see when we get there.
All right, I definitely don't mind going first, especially since I have crampons on. If anyone falls or slips, they can grab onto me. It isn't like it could happen the other way around. If Pivum was wearing the crampons and I slipped and fell, we'd both be done for. So I'm happy I have the crampons. I don't mind leading the pack.
I'll go after Fairuza.
All right.
Well, Pivum and I took the snowshoes because we figured if necessary, we can change into something else. So if you want...
Yeah, penguins, yeah.
But that's at the top, and then we'll slide down.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how... Yeah. I don't know how long it would take us to waddle all the way up, but definitely sliding on the way down.
Yeah.
I suppose with my snowshoes, I'll be a little bit slower, so I'll just kind of be in the back with Silas.
Okay. So Pivum will follow Maeve, Neb close behind, then Robin and Silas. Okay. So, Fairuza, you lead the way as you start, using your crampons, really digging them into the ice as you go, because you can feel it is slippery. And absolutely, as of this moment, Robin, Pivum, and Neb, you are a little bit slower. There are a couple of moments where you skid and are able to sort of find your footing, but as you can see, it gets steeper up ahead. It starts to get a little bit, you can see even Pivum sort of looks to you, Neb, and goes,
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have some trouble when I get to that rise up there.
I think we're all going to, but I agree with you. I've been cataloging what I could probably turn into that would make things easier, but I can't get the goose right. Every time I try, something happens and my brain just doesn't want to picture. I think it's the beak. The beak kind of.
Beak.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the inside of a goose's mouth? It's nasty.
Yeah. Tricky stuff. Yeah.
Would any of you prefer if I went on ahead and took a look around, like scouted on ahead as something smaller?
Maybe something smaller that like something can't detect, because that's always ended in disaster when we let you go ahead. Neb.
Well, I'm not talking about like miles or out of sight or anything.
Okay.
But,
all right.
but and unless someone is going to disagree,
do it.
Neb is going to picture that fox that Pivum turned into that she got a chance to study. And it will be an Arctic fox. It'll be a white fox. But Silas, she will, like, you will catch her winking at you when she does it. So, like, there's a moment where she's giving you this little grin and a wink, and then little white Arctic fox with blue eyes.
Pivum stops, and again, tiny little hands.
Yeah. Oh, very, very impressive. I like this a lot.
Neb tries to bow, and it just turns into one of those dog play bows.
He goes, oh, wonderful. Watch this.
He snaps his fingers, and Pivum erupts. He grows larger and larger, bending over forward on all fours as his fur, he's got his hairy body turns, pure white. And he grows into a polar bear.
Damn!
This is so cool.
The polar bear turns around and looks at you, Robin, in your snowshoes on this icy trek, and sort of holds up his enormous sharp claws.
Wow.
His huge face, I mean, his head is 3 times the size of yours, kind of moves forward, breathes in your face, and sort of motions with its head towards its back.
Well, I've gotten to ride elephants in Thailand, but this will be a new one for the book. And Robin will hop on.
All right, you grab onto a chunk of fur, this veiny, like they're almost like feathers, that almost crystal clear hair that polar bears have, and you sort of throw your leg over, and he moves a little bit to help you adjust. You can feel the power of his muscles underneath his fur as he begins to lumber off. You hold on tight, as it is not an easy ride with no saddle. But he sort of steps off the path a little bit into the glacier at the side. He sinks in deep on his heavy legs, but is able to get a good footing and kind of pull himself up to the front near you, Fairuza. Neb, where are you headed?
So at first she is just circling the polar bear, looking at everything, because this is amazing. And now that she is a tiny creature, because that's what a fox is, she's like weaving in and out from his legs, but like also doing an examination of like, I wonder if I could turn into this. I just thought to turn into this. This is a way smarter idea. I'm already a fox, I guess. And then she'll finally remember that she's supposed to be doing something and trot up to Fairuza, and I will give you kind of a cocked head look, and then trot about 10, 15 feet in front of you. And I'll try to stay at that distance, just keeping my ears open, as that's what foxes do.
Okay, fantastic. As you come across this very icy, narrow, steep passage of this area, you can see that underneath the ice, there are like steps that have been carved into the stone, but they are now completely covered over with ice, like Home Alone covered over with ice. At this point, everybody is going to have to make some kind of strength or dexterity check to get up this thing.
That's what I was worried about. I'm in front. If I fall, I'm taking everybody out. You know what I mean?
Well, right now, Neb the fox and Robin Pivum polar bear are ahead. Neb fox, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. The fox has a way better dex than I do. I still rolled like crap, so that is.
And I will allow strength checks if you would prefer them. You can choose. Just let me know how you're doing it to adjust for that.
All right.
Is athletics applicable?
Yeah, I would allow athletics. Again, sell me.
Yeah.
How are you using your learned?
Robin's not on the. Robin's
no,
good,
you're
right?
not. Robin's fine. You are relying on Pivum the polar bear. All right, Neb, how'd you do?
I rolled a 9.
I
think Neb thinks to do the same thing that the polar bear did, which is to go slightly off the path and stay closer to the snow-ish parts, and just gets closer to ice.
Okay. As you do, and you begin to feel your back legs slip out from underneath you, as a bunch of this loose snow at the side begins to avalanche down this steep divide on the side, carrying you with it very quickly. 5-10 feet, you're being pulled away from the group. Anyone gonna do anything about it?
I mean, how far away?
Fairuza's in front.
She's currently sliding away from you.
Am I sliding away like directly away, or like tangentially?
No, like down
away?
into the glacier.
Okay.
Into the bowl
Robin
of the glacier.
will like kind of like on a horse, like you kick the sides of, and like Robin will just be like, "Come on, this is the Polar Express now," and try to get Pivum to go.
Pivum rears his head and begins to turn, bounding down the slope after you. He's going to do his own little.
Can I clarify the bowl that we're talking about? That is where we're trying to go, right?
Right now, you're climbing around the outside of the bowl.
Yeah, we don't exactly know where to go.
We don't know where this is leading.
Yeah, we're just
So
following
it's not
the
just
path.
sliding down the path we're currently on.
No, she's
Okay, I
sliding
just wanted to
into.
clarify
Yes,
that.
this is
Okay.
like a crater.
I
and
mean, like,
you're-
I understand she could get down there faster and hurt herself, but I was like, okay, if she's going where we need to go anyway, I'm not as concerned. But
It
sounds like
depends
that's
on
not
where
the
you're. No,
case.
no, she's sliding.
okay.
She's not sliding backwards down the path. She's sliding into the bowl of the glacier,
Got it.
so into the crater.
Oh,
essentially,
okay,
towards the
okay.
center of the crater.
Which might be where we're headed.
Which
I
might
don't
be
know.
where you're headed. You haven't really decided yet. But the polar bear is going to bound after you. Polar bear does very, very well holding its ground. It's gonna bound down and kind of actually catch you up. Yeah, it goes fast. Catch you up and get down below you so that it stops your descent about 20 feet away from the group as you sort of butt up against its butt as it gets in the way there.
I look as embarrassed as a fox can look.
But with this disturbance of the snow, you can already see that more of it is beginning to kind of slide in these big sheets of ice on the very steep edges of this crater, this glacier. Fairuza, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Gosh.
Are you climbing? Are you? Yeah. How are you going to?
Yeah.
maneuver?
So okay. So Fairuza is. I mean, she's watching how she's walking because she's very aware of the fact that she's now like 6'4". I can't remember, maybe 6'4". She has not measured herself since the
Yes.
cave. And I mean, even though she knows that Silas has these amazing skills that could probably help her, she does worry if she falls that it's gonna be a rescue mission from hell because she's so much bigger than everybody else. So she just carefully like putting each foot down, and I think I'm gonna use athletics.
Like digging the crampons in as deep as you can into that ice. Okay, yeah, I buy that. That's like hiking or step dancing or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like she's definitely using her.
Go with athletics.
Whatever, yeah.
I'm for it.
Ooh, 13.
A 13. Oh no, Fairuza. You get about halfway up, and on the next sort of stomp that you make, you hit a piece of very hard ice. It just does not lean away from the or does not break under the force of your step. As you begin to fall off again inwards towards the glacier side of this, your other foot holds on. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh no. Oh well, I have good strength, so okay, here we go. 16.
A 16. So your other foot holds strong. You are able to just kind of dig your heel in deeper and hold yourself there. So you have fallen, but you have not slid because you have that other foot planted.
And she like quickly gets her axe and puts it like in the ice to hold too.
Yeah, there you go. Give yourself a little extra.
Okay.
Do you want to continue climbing?
Yeah, did we saved Nev? They're coming back up now, or am I just gonna let them go?
It's one by one. You can wait if you want to wait until you see what happens to them, but you're halfway up this very steep climb.
Okay. If I can tell that they're rescued and okay, and that there's nothing I can do, maybe she'll continue ahead just to keep looking.
Gotcha.
You
Go
know?
ahead. Another athletics check to get up the second rise of this.
Okay. And what am I rolling?
Athletics, if you want to do that again.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. This one's an 18.
An 18. Fantastic. This time you're watching very carefully. You see the different coloration and the density of the ice. So you make sure you put your foot in the right place and you make it up to the top of this rise. Up here, you can see you really have gained a lot of elevation in the last few minutes of hiking. You are getting towards the top third of this giant glacial bowl here, and you can see it is a drop from here. There's very little to hold on to, and there's just, again, the center of this glacier is riddled with crevices that go how deep you don't know.
Okay.
Maeve, you are next in the lineup.
So Maeve, I'm climbing and I'm wearing the crampons, but also I feel like my feet are gripping, like the muscles in my feet are really clenching well on this this ground, almost like a dancer pointing their foot, but my foot's kind of staying flat. Like, it feels extra, like the crampon goes in and then it clenches in, almost locking in. And so I have a 19.
Gorgeous.
With each step, but it's every step I'm sort of just feeling this, like, I don't know how to.
It's
not
like
articulating
and
it very well.
your balance as well seems to be very on point as you go up. It's almost, it's muscled, but it looks light almost as you sort of trip the light. Fantastic.
Yeah, and even there are points where it's almost like the angle I'm standing on seems almost like it shouldn't be an angle that a person stands on. It seems a little gravity defiant.
Yes.
Not too much, but just like tricky spots that Fairuza has struggled with a little bit, and that Neb clearly struggled with. I'm sort of managing on a slightly weird angle.
You land, right next to Fairuza up at the top of this rise, and can also kind of take in this vista. I mean, now you can really see off to the horizon in most directions. And it is forest and tundra. You can see a little bit where the tracks go off down along the side of the mountain down below again. It's pretty dang beautiful up here. All right.
I let myself take a second to appreciate that.
Good.
Because,
Silas, we'll get to the folks down below in a minute, unless you want to do something with them.
I don't know if Silas would want to leave them down there, because I mean, like, we're going up. Everybody else is going up, right? But they are down a little bit into the bowl at this point.
They're about 20 feet down into the bowl. They'll have to climb back up to where you are and then make it up this rise to stay on the path.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay there and make sure that they don't need any help to come back up before Silas is gonna go up.
Neb, Robin, and Pivum down at the bottom. Neb, Pivum's actually gonna, again, nudge his nose down near you and almost create kind of a ramp where you could maybe walk up on top of his head.
Neb looks at Pivum, back at where they slid, at Pivum, back at where they slid. She shakes like a dog to get the snow off of her, and it's almost as though you can tell she's going, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Let me throw something at you.
Yeah.
Foxes have a burrowing speed.
Yes.
They have no athletics or strength. But what I would like to imagine is she's taking those, the same paws with the claws that are meant for digging. She's digging them like crampons into the ice. And so she's a little slower. But I'm hoping that the burrow speed can help.
Absolutely. I will give you, if you want to burrow through this loose snow to get back to where Silas is, you can just move your burrow speed.
Her burrow speed is 5 feet, so it's slow.
But
it's fine. Like a sandworm just making its way through the snow, and then Adam or
a wascally wabbit,
a wascally wabbit, and all of a sudden a fox head just pops up next to you, like.
Robin, give me a perception check.
Oh, goody. Ah, boo. It's a 6.
It's a 6. You're just having a grand old time watching Neb play in the snow. This is amazing. You're riding a polar bear as Pivum sort of stays close by, taking the same speed as Neb as they sort of carefully plot their way back to where Silas is at the bottom of this icy rise. So they've made it to you, Silas.
Before the polar bear and Robin are get there, and I see the Arctic fox, pop out. There's just a little bit of silence, and Silas kind of nods his head. Yeah, I mean, not to. I mean, this is offered in no judgment whatsoever, Neb. But maybe next time the polar bear instead of the fox. I mean, because it seems like it's pretty badass. And I know you can't talk back to me right now. And like I said, it's not judgment. We all live and learn. I've made so many mistakes, but polar bear seems like it's a really good option.
She gets out of the snow. She looks back down at where Pivum is climbing on up. She kind of glances at herself. You can swear you see like shoulders drop a little bit. And then
But
she
hey,
just
foxes
starts
are cool.
laboriously climbing up the same way.
So this time, though, as the fox neb begins to climb, I looked this up. I guess an Arctic fox weighs like 10 pounds or something. So as long as an Arctic fox weighs less than 60, Silas is going to just simply, like the best weightlifting spotter in the world, try to not actually help, but like just be there telekinetically just a little bit in case something goes wrong.
Gotcha. Just
with
ready
him
to
trying climb.
grab the scruff of the neck if there's a slide.
And just again trying to do it as invisibly as he can.
All right. Well, with your gentle helicopter parenting there, you're able to get everybody back up onto this ridge. At this point, Pivum, the polar bear, is going to kind of move around to the back and kind of nudge in the butt behind you and sort of say, he's going to go behind the pack and see if he can, prevent any
okay,
major
yeah.
slips.
Hey, it makes a lot of sense to me. You don't have to say anything else. And Silas is gonna go up there, and Silas has done a good bit of second story work, and there was a job in the past that had something to do with ice. So he is going to try to carefully and surgically, find the driest,
absolutely,
easiest handholds and make the climb. Oh, that's good. 19.
19. Yeah, you as well, using all 4 of your limbs, really knowing that, you have to stabilize with the hands and then use the weight in the feet. You find a really good, solid way to, climb up there and kind of pull yourself up, standing next to your friends. Down below, Fox Neb, do you want to go first, and Pivum and Robin will sort of spot you?
Yeah, I feel like she would have seen Pivum basically encourage Silas, so she's gonna take a big breath and she's gonna try again.
Go for it.
All right, here comes the dexterity check because that's a natural 20 for a 23.
Nice.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah. How do
to get
you foxy bound up this in the most amazing way possible?
I feel like after her burrowing excavation, she's finally kind of gotten a hold of what this body can actually do, because like studying it is one thing and being it is another. And so now, because foxes have this keen hearing, she's listening for the parts of the ice that are cracking, that have cracks and divots in them that make that styrofoam type noise. And that's where she's going to then dig in her claws. And so she kind of leaps, grabs, and eventually, and then looks very, very proud of herself.
Oh, yes. Just a little sit with a shaky tail up at the top there. If I guess foxes don't howl, but but you feel it inside.
What does the fox say? Probably nothing. They look dignified.
Polar bear with Robin on its back is going to make its turn. Again, no problems.
Mental note: study polar bears. Here we go.
It's just the biggest creature. I mean, I guess the moose you've been by, the wolves were large, but I mean, it just, and the steam that puffs out of its mouth as it climbs up, it kind of pushes the rest of you down the path because you have to make way for it as he pulls himself up to the top. Robin, you feel a little bit of a slide on its back as you grab onto that hair and hold as tight as you can, sort of wrapping your knees around his middle section to stay on top. As you all make it to the top of this rise, there is kind of a turn coming up. Again, you can see the path going along. It's still steadily rising, but it's more manageable. It isn't this large of a jump. But it begins to kind of go into the rock face, the sort of top of this mountain. The path sort of goes into the edge of it, beginning to sort of create a small ledge around the inside. And there are parts of it you can't see because it goes in and around behind those rocks. But you're starting to come up into what is becoming more and more the top of the mountain.
And we can't see around that. We can't really see where
it comes in and out. You can see some of the path. It's really like a thin ledge around the edge of the side of the mountain, and other places it goes in to follow the contours of the rocks themselves. But the path does continue around, and you obviously can see where it picks up on the other side, 100 feet away or more. But yeah, it continues. It just kind of moves into the stone and the rock at the top of the mountain.
Fairuza's just gonna turn to the group and say, shall we continue on? All right. And she just
Unless you have something better to be doing.
She's gonna brandish her axe. And actually, before they turn the it was really good. It was a good one, Lord. She's going to just squint for a minute and focus on that turn. And because she has this ability to sense danger.
Yeah.
So she's just going to see if there's anything that could be there before they turn the corner. That's all.
Let me think
danger
about
sense. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. I don't know.
Let's do with dexterity saving throws, right?
Yes.
Double checking. Okay. Oh, many things. Okay. Give me a perception check because you are focusing on this.
Yeah. Just in case.
Yes, you are.
15.
15. You hear what sounds like the flutter of feathers from around the corner and a light chirping. It's very hard to catch. The wind is so loud up here, just the constant white noise of that. Because you are paying attention and kind of are trying to catch anything off, you can hear sort of the rustle of feathers in the wind and a little bit of a...
For a minute, Fairuza's completely confused, and she's remembering that she used to own something that's like a war gong. But anyway, she's gonna turn around. She's I feel like I'm having sort of a psychic break for a second. But she's gonna turn around to the group and say, you guys are just gonna literally see Fairuza stop dead. And she's gonna turn to you guys and say, what kind of birds can exist in this weather? Do any of you know?
Is that a riddle?
I'm asking because I specifically do hear something that sounds like an actual bird, and because I kind of consider myself a little bit of a bird aficionado.
Oh, really?
And then why are you asking
Birds?
us?
You
then?
haven't told us that yet.
What?
Nothing.
The cold
I
is
definitely-
making Silas edgy.
What'd you say, Maeve?
If you're the expert, then why are you asking us?
Well, I don't know what kind of birds are going to live in Glacier. I have no idea. Maybe you guys do know.
Vultures. I don't know.
All I know is I hear a bird, and I definitely hear feathers.
I mean, it's just a bird. We're not scared of a bird right now, are we? Because
could be.
we have kind of battled Morlocks and all kinds of way worse stuff than birds.
We don't know. In this world, maybe bird is something to be afraid of.
I didn't want to be reminded of that, but you're probably right. I just think in general, anything that jumps out at me that's strange, I need to mention it because I'm right up front here and I make sure everybody knows what we're getting ready to walk into.
Do you recall the birds we saw at the last spot? We had some concerns about those, so
Well,
Yeah.
we just didn't want to
seems
kill their
like
family,
yesterday.
though. I wasn't like scared of them. I mean, we could have gone down there just like kicking all of them and stuff, and we would have been fine. But we just didn't want to do all that.
In any of the books that we were looking
Yeah.
at about this stuff, was there anything about birds? Was there anything about?
Go ahead and give me either a nature check or a history check to remember the book.
Unfortunately, that book I think is my left leg at the moment. I don't know. I don't know where that's. Neb hasn't figured out where her clothing and belongings go just yet. So
Somewhere.
22.
somewhere is a
22.
book.
And that was history.
It was a history. Okay, so specifically trying to think back to the book that you read, anything that you sort of seen, to know about this kind of an area. There are a lot of birds that can live in Arctic climates. Anything from penguins, Antarctic climates, and all the way to birds of prey. Really giant birds. What am I thinking? Like an albatross. That can fly miles and miles across the ocean in all kinds of climates and is enormous. So there's a wide range. It's almost impossible to tell, what this would be without getting a look at it.
We don't know. All right, let's go.
Is this a shadowy spot? Is this a very exposed area?
This is all very exposed. I mean, it's more, I would say, less exposed than the rest of the mountain because this is where the rock is and it's providing some cover, but this is all open air up here.
Don't worry, everybody. I was once part of the neighborhood watch, so I am very alert. Always alert. I can't be surprised, I should say.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's
that's good. All right.
I mean, that's the first one that I've also been. So
Ah,
I will say, it's like, I'm not at a bingo or anything, but I at least got on the board.
So Robin, you're all the way in the back? Or are you up?
Robin's on the polar bear.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're still on the polar bear.
At
Okay.
the back, but we are at the back, yes.
But
Okay.
Neb will, if you're still in the front, Neb will trot up next to you and kind of keep
Okay.
pace with you at this point.
So yes, between
Okay.
everyone's legs, this tiny little white fox just sort of moves its way
Yeah.
through your legs up towards you, Fairuza.
I
You're
just appear.
6'4" and Neb's 10 inches.
I mean,
You
Tiny,
are
tiny.
excellent companions.
Yeah.
Neb, do you want to
Definitely
go
good.
look and see what's
Yeah.
up there?
Mhm.
You'll watch her cock her head and she'll nod a bit, but then she'll very intentionally make like eye contact with all of you before she walks away.
Yeah, polar bear will give you a big.
I don't know if that was no or yes.
I think it was a confirmation.
I was once a nature conversationalist, so I think that was a yes.
All right.
Neb will stand up and give you all that kind of nod of like, yeah, I can do this, and is gonna slowly head in that direction. She's gonna be listening to try to key in on the bird sounds
Okay.
first, and
Why not?
then
Give me your foxy perception with your ears or your senses, whatever you've got as a
Okay.
Foxy perception, the
Your
best,
foxy
the best Bond girl.
yes, the best. So
Foxy perception.
the fox has advantage
Stop giving me NPCs.
on hearing checks, and
Okay.
that is another natural 20. I'm gonna die.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's a 26 on her perception.
Wow.
Yeah.
You distinctly hear 3 separate chirps, and they feel immature to you. They feel like these are young birds, rather than the throaty, mature sound of an adult bird. So as you move, you feel quite certain there's a nest around the corner.
Okay. Before I view around the corner to see what I can see, I will look up for mom, dad, something.
You know, right?
You can give me another perception check. You don't see anything, just plain.
Yeah. Okay. 24.
24. There's nothing in these skies. It is just, blue sky, bright sun. It's now, past midday. It's just beating down on you. There's almost no shadows. But again, the wind and the air currents are so intense that, you have not yet been able to transform into anything that flies, but you're pretty sure if something caught an air current, it could be here. It could travel, miles very quickly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get down on my belly and scooch on up so that I could just peer around the corner.
Stealthy?
I gotta try.
You go for it.
The fox is a bit stealthy.
He's got some camouflage in the white fur and the white snow. You want to take it at perception? I'll allow it.
Well, I got 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay.
That's a 21 for
yeah.
stealth. Yeah. I'm
Great.
finally getting used to this body, I guess.
So yeah, you get down low, so you like you're army crawling as a little fox, and kind of move yourself up around and just stick a little black nose around the corner and little eyes to kind of peek. And it is indeed an area, a high altitude nest that has been sort of built into the side of this mountain in a place where two sort of meet. Yes, some tree logs and sticks and all bits of kind of, you see some rope in there that looks a little bit like the kind of rope you guys have been using. Lots of things that have kind of been mushed together, probably also cemented with some saliva or something, because it's just stuck on the side of the rock, kind of along this path. You'll have to go right through it if you want to continue along the path. And every once in a while, you see a head beep, 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 stick up, open-mouthed, 3 of them, and they're quite big. These baby birds are probably the size of your Canadian geese.
And how big is the nest?
Nest is big. Nest is probably 10 feet in diameter.
And
there are little fluffy feathers stuck all in it, the little downy baby bird feathers.
It's adorable, and also, she's a tiny beast. She's kind of terrified at this moment. Can I tell what kind of birds these are? Just from
give me a nature check.
From the babies, I'll try. Okay. Okay. 18.
All of the studying that you've been doing, going through this book, is really starting to pay off. These are definitely birds of prey. These are tough little birds. You can already see the remains now as you look of some other creatures. These are carnivorous birds.
I'm going to army crawl backwards very stealthily, and then turn around and go back to my friends. And then
keep sending
what'd you
the
see,
animal.
Lassie?
That doesn't look good.
and in her head, she thinks the next time we do this, we need to learn 20 questions, yes or no questions, because I don't want to. She's just going to sit in front of all of you and look.
Hey, we should do 20 questions or something probably when she can't talk like this.
I make hardcore eye contact with Silas and just solemnly nod.
Would you like
Is it
for us to play
larger
20
than a bread
questions?
box?
She nods at Maeve.
The bird is larger than a bread box?
She vigorously nods.
Is there more than one of these birds?
She vigorously nods.
Is there more than 2?
She vigorously nods.
Is there more than 3?
She cocks her head and then nods
at
a
least
little
3.
bit.
Okay.
They didn't notice you at all, Neb?
She shakes her head no.
There's that. Is there a way to get past the birds at all, or is that just the dead end? Did you see or notice?
She looks unsure. She kind of.
Can we bull rush it and get through it quickly?
We should have added it. Oh boy.
Yes or no is how this game works.
From what I saw, do I think that's even possible? You said it was blocking the path. Would it be something
you'd have to run through the nest with the 3 little birds?
Through the nest.
There's no going under it since it's attached to the wall?
Maybe you, because you're 10 inches tall, but
okay.
Not the others.
And we're sure that this is the only path. that we see.
Neb,
As far as
looks
Neb
at-
could see. Yeah.
yeah, look, Neb looks at Silas and solemnly, nope, not bull rushing through this, and then looks over at Robin and just kind of looks around and shrugs.
All right.
Can the polar bear eat the bears or eat the birds?
I'll look over at him.
Pivum, it's yes or no. Like you can shake your head up or shake it side to side.
He shakes side to side and kind of snaps at you, Silas, a little bit.
He's a vegetarian. Okay, good.
Well,
So we
if
either
these-
look for another path or we go back and then go right.
I ain't going back all that way. Like, that's a terrible idea.
we committed
You
to the
realize
left.
how hard it was to just get this far?
Well, okay, the birds were big and they were awake, but they
Vigorous
didn't notice Neb.
Vigorous nodding up until they didn't notice Neb, and then just like a small little like she's sure. No.
Okay.
Can we
No.
climb around him? Is there rocks we can climb over?
Did I see any rocks?
Lots of rocks, yeah.
She'll
They go up?
she'll
It's in the
So we
side of
could go up, technically.
there's a side. It's in the side of a cliff, you know, hanging on to the edge between sort of in a Y-shaped space between two rocks, and you could absolutely find your way around above him.
and
Is
somehow Neb conveys all of that by just going.
So Neb Fox, I'm gonna try to phrase this as a yes or no. Did you see where this path terminates?
No idea.
So I'm looking out over the bowl or
Yes.
whatever. Do we have any impression? Because I understand this like blocks the view here. Do we see what looks like could be path, like
On the other side of the crater? Oh yeah. It mimics this one. They both kind of come up and seem to join somewhere back in this, you know, collection of spires of rock at the peak of this mountain.
Okay,
with
but the bowl
yes.
does not. I guess what I'm trying to do here is
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to get a sense for if we honestly think we're going to end up at the bottom of this bowl, or if we're going on the other side of the bowl. Is there anything that I can do just directionally to try to figure that out?
The path does not go into the bowl. The path
Okay,
circumvents
it doesn't look like it. Like
It's around
winds
the edge.
It's
and
around the
spirals
edge
or
of the
anything.
no, it's around the edge. Now
Like, think of the caldera of a volcano.
yes, exactly.
So it's around the edge of it.
Like a crater.
It
Yeah.
might surprise
in the
you, but I
center
haven't
is the
been inside of a
depression.
volcano before.
Of a volcano? I know.
But I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are saying that
within the idea is that these two paths must meet up or something within this collection of spires up here at the top. It's just that up here is
Got
the
it.
only place where you can't see the geography. So, you know, from what Neb could see, you're still assuming they connect. You don't really know what the path
Okay.
does beyond that.
but logically it makes sense.
Was there a shard of a mirror anywhere in the vicinity? Didn't
Did you
happen
ask
to be
them?
just folded into a lovely set of blankets that happen to be folded neatly next to wherever these birds are, or like placed in the newspaper at the bottom of a cage, or anything like that. No?
Did I happen to see like a mirror shard shoved into part of the like
No.
You
part
did
of
not
the?
happen to see a mirror
Alright.
shard
It was worth a try.
jumped into it. You know, you did not happen to.
You,
no.
you
One
get
of
a mirror.
these times it's
Bird
just
could
gonna
have
be
used
that
it to make the
simple.
nest. So like it absolutely could. It could just be in those sticks, and we will
It's
never know it.
true.
You watch as Silas is talking about the bird could have. The fox stands up and like paws at the ground to make like a line in the snow,
Mhm.
and then walks 10 feet away and makes another line in the snow and very meaningfully looks at both lines.
The bird's
The
that
bird
Liz is
was
gonna
10
look over.
feet tall.
What is she doing?
Mhm.
What is she doing?
So the bird is 10 feet tall.
There's a very cocked, like squinty look at you, Silas. Like doing. And then she gives like a little tiny nod, like you're almost right.
They're this
Nest?
big.
As you say nest, she vigorously nods.
The nest is 10 feet long. So this is a dinosaur.
What? A pterodactyl?
I mean, what kind of bird do we know makes a 10-foot like wide nest?
You say dinosaur and suddenly she looks very intrigued. She's like very distracted looking in that direction again.
No, the Taliosauruses are subaquatic.
But seriously, do we like a bald eagle doesn't have a 10 feet wide nest, does it? It's like, isn't that the biggest bird we know of?
It's not the biggest bird. I mean,
It's like a
Neb can't say any of this, but the bald eagle nests are pretty big. I mean, but
I
10
don't know.
feet.
Again, I don't know if this surprises anyone, but I haven't been inside a volcano, and I also have not studied birds at length. But the thing that I do know is we're going to freeze to death if we stay out here when it becomes nighttime or whatever. We're probably going to run out of food, and then we're definitely not going to find the mirror shard unless we like go somewhere. And so I think we have like what, 2 options: go back and go right, which I vote no on that, or we go through these birds somehow.
Or climb over them. I mean, we have our climbing gear.
yeah.
We have no rope.
We have like 2 feet of rope left. Let's check.
I think I'll allow you of one.
Oh yeah,
like,
50, 200
foot-
feet.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
like
50, 200 feet. That's nothing.
And Silas has his paracord, which has lost what, like 8 feet out of the 50?
Yeah,
or,
it's pretty.
It's an
much
odd
Yeah.
number now.
you're less than 100 feet of rope to use.
Right. Well, I mean, okay, hear me out. We have found, like Maeve said, we have found clues to the shards in the weirdest places. Neb has, we've been to parties where rats have given birth, and that was part of what we were supposed to do and find. Maybe these, I don't even want to say it, but maybe there's something that we're supposed to do with
Yeah,
these.
maybe we need to talk to them. Hey, Pivum or Neb, like, don't you talk to animals? Maybe you say, "Hey, babies, don't eat us. Like, we're just gonna walk through. We're not gonna hurt you." And then maybe they just let us walk through.
There you go. Now we're starting to think like we belong in this world.
You see Neb shrug a little bit, like if that she's considering that option, and if that's what you want her to do, then she will. But
I mean, honestly,
There's a
like,
thing,
I don't know
though,
if there's
about
any
it,
talking to.
if you go too close to a baby bird, the mother abandons it.
We'll come out of
Oh,
nowhere.
I have heard that
swooping.
actually. My parents used to tell me that all the time, but I thought it was just made up to make me not play with birds in their nest.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. But... So maybe we need to go engage the birds, and then the mother or father will just never come back, and we'll be fine.
well, what were the birds doing when you saw them, Neb? Were they just sitting there? What were they? What was the feel? Did you get a feel? Can you? Yes or no? Did you get a feel? I don't know.
I never knew a year ago when I made this character that there's going to be so much charades, but I'm here for it. It's become the thing. Neb sits, and if she can, she'll sit back so that her front paws are, like a dog begging kind of thing, and then she'll stick her head up into the air, mouth open, like she's a baby bird begging.
Let me ask this, Neb Fox. Did you feel like they were dangerous?
She's finally going to come out of wild shape at this point. She'll think about that for a very long time and try to figure out.
I won.
she'll
I got
try
her.
to
I got
figure
her to
out,
pop out.
and then finally she'll consider. She'll drop the image of a fox, and you'll see her back as herself, and go, "Okay, all right. I don't think the babies are dangerous, but I don't know where the parents are."
Maeve is so smart though, and like Maeve said, it's like, hey, you mess with the babies, the adult just abandons them.
Or
Those are bastards.
the
Or
the mother comes and defends the babies.
Well, then we just run or slide down the hill or something. Like, we definitely can't just keep standing here because, by the way, if that mother has eyes on these little babies, we're like standing right here and the mother can see us right now.
In that moment, you hear a
Oh, I hate
as
my
coming
life.
around the side is the most gargantuan bird you have ever seen. Its feathers are pure white and rough with snow and ice as it glides over the top of Silas, who sort of ducks a little bit. It's a good 20 feet above you, but you can feel just the power of it. It pays you no mind, disappears around that edge, and lands. You hear the snapping and crunching of bones
So the other thing I couldn't
as
figure
the
out
baby birds go crazy.
the other thing I couldn't figure out how to say as a fox was it is definitely a bird of prey. It's not a big starling. It's a claws and yeah. I can try to talk to it if you want. At least now I could try to talk to the parent, but it's a bird that will see me as prey. Probably more if I was a fox, but I mean, I'm not that big.
Well, we got a polar bear right here. That bird's probably not going to mess with a polar bear, right? How big is the bird when we saw it?
When you saw it, I mean, 30, 40 feet wingspan.
Okay, you know what?
Silas, I think it is a dinosaur.
If that bird was 30 or 40 feet and it flew over my head 20 feet, like I screamed like
You did. You did. You
to
screamed.
the high heavens.
It's a pterodactyl. You screamed.
Okay.
It is gargantuan. This thing
Wait,
covered you.
Are we being metaphorical here that it's a pterodactyl? Or it
Yes,
is an
I'm being
actual-
I know
Okay,
I'm
okay.
being metaphorical in the sense that you are not
Just
wrong. in
making
terms of
sure.
scope.
Yes. Okay.
This is an enormous bird that flew over your head. You did absolutely scream. It got lost in the wind and the thump of its.
Oh, I'll own it. I'll own it. I'm
its
terrified
wings.
of that. We should go right. We should go on the right.
Yep. This is where we retreat carefully, quietly.
Do you want me to try to talk to it before we retreat?
Yeah, why not?
As you?
Well, I can't talk to it as a fox. I mean, or I can. I think I have to. I don't know how that works. I kind of did it the last time, but it was all in a rush, and I was very, very cold. Miss Robin, you're going to say something?
No, I'm gonna say if we're here, I mean, and you feel safe enough, I say talk to them.
Do any of us feel safe enough just going and talking to a 40-foot bird?
Maybe if we bring the polar bear.
I think you have a plan.
Piven, will you give me polar bear backup?
We have to have a plan before she walks over there. Like, if we hear
Okay.
anything.
The plan is, hey, will you let us pass? You just ate plenty of food. We'll get what do birds like? We'll give you whatever you like. I mean, all of this is the same as like dealing with the mafia or something. I mean, it's like you just got to find out what they want, give them what they want, and everybody will be fine.
Maybe they want berries.
Yeah, and I could give them.
You have plenty of those. Yes.
I
mean,
can make more.
After a lovely dinner of bones, all I want is berries.
The size of
Delicious
poppy
dessert.
seeds.
Teach Steve, come on.
10 poppy seeds.
Well, if you'll all stay behind me, I will go talk to the parent and see what I can negotiate.
All right.
Very carefully.
Don't die.
Pivim and Robin will come up around behind you as polar bear backup. Sorry, Maeve, go ahead.
Oh, I just said don't die.
I'll try not to. I've been very
Have fun
unsuccessful in the
storming the
past, but it's got to
castle.
work at some point, right?
All right, in your snowshoes
Mm-hmm.
now, on this ice, you feel quite slippery coming along this area. Now, Pivim is going to keep his nose pressed up against your back, just kind of almost pushing you along like ice skates up to the edge here. Do you want to try to be stealthy again?
No, actually,
Okay.
she's going to be very intentionally not stealthy. And in fact, when I think I could call out and be heard, even well before I'm seen, she's going to try to speak with the bird. And she'll
Okay.
Hello?
Silas is going to walk to make sure that Neb doesn't leave eye line.
Okay, gotcha. The Neb is only going to go up to the where she can see the bird and you can see her. It's all on that eye line.
I might even stop before I see the bird.
Yes.
And call out to it so that it can come to us.
Gotcha. So as you're coming closer to it, being nudged forward by Pivum and Robin, you can already hear much more clearly as you leave some of the open whistling wind area, this crunch of bones and the scrambling, squeaking and chirping of these birds, and then the rustle of enormous feathers as this thing shakes the snow off of its back, and you hear it crash down the other side of the mountain. And you begin talking. What do you say in bird?
I just call out, hello? Can we chat for a second?
A huge, high-pitched just echoes through this area. Snow begins to again crumble off the side of the mountain, creating little avalanches along the edge as the whole area shakes. You hear a whoosh, whoosh, as it takes off and begins to kind of flap its wings. Now the wind brushing back at you. I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw.
That was a pretty good wing sound there, Jeff.
That was
Wait a minute.
That was so good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dexterity said, no, I don't get that. Oh, okay. All right. A little bit of fox is still in me. 15.
Okay. 15. All right, you're able to just grab on to Pivum's fur behind you as Pivum digs his claws into the ground as this enormous creature pulls around the side, getting a view on all of you. Now all of you can really see it full on as it uses its wings to kind of rise itself up in the air and do a little turn and come around and keep you in its sights as it's sort of circling around you at the top, keeping one eye on the nest and the other on all of you. Robin and Pivum, as you all kind of get to this edge where you can see, Pivum is gonna, leave one foot down by where Neb is and kind of hike his legs up so that he's, standing his full 9 feet tall, so you all can peer over the edge. As you look around and look into this baby bird's nest, you can see the 3 little baby birds. You can see feathers, you can see bones, you can see blood, you can see meat. They're fighting over the leg of some sort of, Arctic deer of some kind. And you think in the center of this nest, you see a ladder going down.
What?
This bird has an escape hatch.
Yeah. What would you like to say?
So
it is paying an enormous amount of attention to you. That's why I use that word a lot. It is very focused on you.
Okay. If I know it's got its attention, I will once again say, hi. Can we chat for a moment? Do you have a second?
Pardon me, do you have a moment to converse about the
I'm here about your
Have you accepted Jesus as
extended
Lord and
warranty.
Savior? Hello,
I have a DJ Steve
my
for you.
name is Nebula, and I would like to share with you this most amazing
Hi.
bear.
You're singing telegram. All right. All this goes through Neb's head. She doesn't say any of it.
Again, it doesn't seem to want to talk with you. It again uses just a screech that sends again more rubble coming down the edge. I'm gonna need Maeve and Silas and Fairuza to give me some either dexterity or strength saving throws to stop your fall.
Oh,
The rumble of this
I'll do
side
strength.
of this.
Oh no.
17.
Okay.
Oh no.
Maeve, you're able to keep, again,
18.
those dancers, pincers hold you where you are. Fairuza?
18.
18. You dig your axe into the side, giving yourself a 5th point to grab onto as you all kind of stop the shake. Silas?
22.
22. That climbing, experience that you've had, again, you get yourself 4 points and hold on using the little tensor grips in the front of your fingers to kind of give you a little bit of a hold as this bird continues to circle.
I don't think it's going to listen to reason.
I'm
We need to
gonna
make a decision.
I'm gonna reach into my pack and pull out the 5 berries that I have left from.
That's how you approach wild birds, so why not?
Yeah, it's the only food I think I've got some rations or stuff, but I know the berries are real nice. She's gonna walk like 1 or 2 steps forward, not very far, and say, I brought some food, if that'll help. We just want to see if we can get by your nest, that's all. And she'll put the berries on the ground and then back up.
The minute you say nest, however you mean it, it dive bombs towards the party. You all see it start to happen, but we are in initiative.
Well,
We didn't mean it.
All right. Roll it up, my friends.
okay. That's, yep.
Oh, wow. Neb.
All right. Maeve.
It's 7.
7 for Maeve. Neb.
She rolled a natural 1, which gives her a 0. Because, you know, she continues to be really just flabbergasted whenever an animal doesn't want to talk with her.
I mean, it's absolutely.
Amazing.
I mean, it's terrifying. You are the front line, and this creature is just barreling down at you with the speed of a jet.
Yeah.
Robin.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 for Robin. Fairuza.
10.
10
I
for
wanna go first.
Fairuza. And Silas.
9.
9 for Silas. All right, Robin, you're up first. You're the first person on the back of the polar bear that sees this shift in the bird's attention and sees it start to dive straight towards Neb.
Without even thinking, Robin snaps her fingers, knowing that she's tried before back in the saloon with her magic cloth, and she's going to Constitution saving throw or be teleported into an unoccupied space.
Okay. I also just realized I have to roll for Pibum.
Oh, it's Constitution 13.
Okay. Constitution 13. 15.
Dang it. Okay. Then
No, not even 19.
Oh, geez. Okay, then nothing happens.
Okay.
And that is my action.
Bonus action movement.
Bonus action. I'm just going to get. I'm not on Pivum, am I?
You
still?
are. You're still
okay.
on Pivum.
Hop off of Pivum.
Okay.
And start doing my little dancey dance because I'm ready to expeditiously retreat at any moment.
Doing your warm-ups, your high knees. Fantastic. Well, it is its turn. It has turned towards all of you. It's going to make 2 attacks. First, it rears in with its talons out, looking to grab you, Neb.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is a 28 to hit.
Oh my god.
What are we facing here?
You rolled higher than my hit points. Let me put it that way.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Do you have any bird resistance or anything?
You know, I did as a fox.
No. Silvery barbs.
Silvery barbs?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
is it a reaction?
It's a reaction. So
Okay.
you need to re-roll the 20.
Reroll.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Nice.
Use the lower roll.
It is a better roll.
Oh my god.
What?
Okay.
Thank you for trying. I appreciate
I
it.
still give the advantage to you, Neb.
Okay.
Okay, please look at the advantage.
I still
Hold
get
the
hit.
phone.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Remember when I said don't die?
At this moment, no. Actually,
Did you
I don't
mean it,
remember that.
or-
I don't know why.
That is, I'm so sorry. 29 points of damage.
Don't die!
And it picks
What are we
you up
doing with poor
in
Neb?
its talon.
What
Are you
we doing
dying?
to her?
I am an unconscious form.
You're
in
an
this-
unconscious form
in
in
this eagle's
its
talons.
talons.
I'm in its talons now. That's
It
a song.
grabs you, swooping by, pulling you aside. It's still got a beak attack, which it's going to use on the polar bear.
Eek attack.
Okay, That is definitely going to hit the polar bear.
Hmm.
Ooh,
my
this is
gosh.
bad. This is really bad. Okay.
It didn't have to be dead.
Didn't
It
have to be today.
It didn't have to be like this.
Next time we send Silas in to talk,
You could have just eaten the berries and gone about your way.
or we send Maeve in to talk.
That is 19 points of damage on the polar bear.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, him.
Is he still a
as-
polar bear?
He is still a polar bear. The beak grabs at the polar bear, ripping away flesh as it moves across the side. You have already used your reaction, Robin, but that would have been an opportunity attack for you. But it flies off to the side. Neb's lifeless body hanging from its feet as it makes its way back towards the nest and the baby birds. Up next is Fairuza.
You must be joking. The accent came out of nowhere. I'm just kidding. Fairuza's seeing this happen.
Yes.
There's just some weird sort of feeling that just starts to germinate within. Her eyes start flashing like they usually do. Her hair starts glowing like fire starter. And she puts her hands out toward the stork or whatever it is that has Ned.
I don't want the babies that stork is
Yeah. It's your turn. I'm just kidding. And from her hand springs this long, like, stream of electricity.
Uh-oh.
And she's going to use lightning lure basically to yank the creature 10 feet in a straight line toward her.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's going to, it has to succeed in a strength 13, or it's going to be
Strength
pulled
13?
toward me.
We're so weak.
I know.
You are all so little. You're
What
so
is
little.
that?
So we.
Ooh,
You get
13
1
you
point of
said?
damage.
Oh my god. I rolled a 12.
Oh. Amazing.
All right. So wait. Fairuza. A lightning whip rockets out of your hand, circles around one of the legs of this creature, pulling it 10 feet back towards you. You literally see, feathers fly off in the air off of the side. What else happened? You literally, you pull it within 10 feet
10
of
feet
yourself.
of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to take 1d8 damage just for that. Which
Roll
is
it.
going to be, let's see, it's going to be embarrassing, but we'll try. 7.
Is Neb still in its claws?
Oh, it is. Neb is absolutely still.
I'm a very tasty snack.
7. Yeah, you pluck a feather.
That's all I get.
Uh,
That's all I get.
Is there no
you
lightning
pull
attack on that?
it closer? Was lightning damage, right? What you
Yeah,
rolled?
it's lightning damage basically, and so yeah, it's just literally gonna come and it's gonna land 10 feet in front of her.
Okay.
And maybe like the shot, just staticky, it's like just gonna take 7 points of damage.
Great. It lands on the snow, craggy side, with, Neb still in one of its talons, the other one gripping into the rock at the side of this mountain as it begins to kind of, claw its way, trying not to fall back into the bowl of this glacier. Anything else, Fairuza?
With this feeling that Fairuza has, all of a sudden, like if you could look at her, you would just notice there's something weird about her skin that feels almost like a protective barrier, and it's a reaction that she has ready to go.
Okay, fantastic.
That's all.
Silas, you're up next.
Silas, the bird is how far away from all of us right now?
Neb was probably 30 feet away. About 30 feet. On the side of the mountain.
Silas is going to.
It's basically right next to. Oh no, Rob. I'm sorry. Fairuza pulled it 10 feet for her, so it's 10 feet essentially, depending on where you were in the line.
10 feet away from us.
10 feet away from you, about 10 feet from the bear and Robin, and it's right on top of Nib.
How far away is the nest?
The nest, it'd be 30 feet down the path, and then around the corner, you're guessing.
You don't know.
The
corner is roughly 30 feet away.
Yes, the corner is about 30 feet away.
Okay, I am going to I am going to take off running
Okay.
down the path, and I am going to, when I enter the space of the creature, I am going to deftly disengage from the creature.
Gotcha.
And I am going to make it to that corner like I am going toward the babies.
All right.
And I am going to, as I am running, I see Neb in the claws, and I'm just going to say, no, it's not time for that. We don't have time for this. And there is some green light that is going to come out from the ring that's kind of just floating around Silas's shoulder. That is going to heal, and that is going to do nice roll. 10 points of damage.
Okay. All I need is a dexterity saving throw for this run, this mad dash. It's not steep, but you've got the crampons on, so it's just
nice. So dexterity, let me see. That's going to be, that is 21.
All right. You, like a flash of light, run forward. As you do, you sort of dodge in and out of this thing's beak and its wings and its feet coming around the side. You shout out to Neb as you go by and sort of backwards turn around, get to the corner. You're now standing next to the polar bear, which is bleeding from these scratches, these bite marks down its back. And Robin is on the ground doing her little aerobics.
And as I put in the healing word that presumably wakes Neb up, as I am continuing to get there, I'm just saying it's okay. You're okay for now, and then I say, and then I'm going to say, if you can still talk to it, tell it its babies are about to get it, and then I'm going to stop right there.
Tell it we don't want to kill you. We know you're a mom.
All right.
I mean, we'll deal with that when it's my turn. But
yeah. Silas, anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay. Where you are at the corner, you can now see the nest ahead of you. You don't have the high vantage that Robin had, so you're still looking up at it. So you can't see into it, but you can see that one of the baby birds with some, again, a leg of something in its mouth has kind of jumped up on the side.
And how big is this in comparison to me?
It's smaller than you. Like I said, it's about the size of a goose. It's a big, big bird.
Got it.
But
Perfect.
it's like a swan goose.
Now,
baby.
when I happen to go there, is this ladder evident enough, or do I have to get closer?
No. You have to be higher to see it.
Wanted to verify.
Yes, clarify for that. It does, baby bird, lock eyes with you.
Okay.
Okay, Maeve, you're up next.
I look at it and I say, I have my eye on you. And no. And I want to try and aim my no to help make it drop Neb.
Okay.
Not from a height, because it's low down.
On the ground. So literally Neb's on the ground with its talons wrapped around her. I am all about called shots. I think that's very cool. What I do with a called shot is, depending on how difficult it is, we're gonna do it like cover, right? It's just a little bit harder to hit the foot than it is to hit the body. So it's gonna have a little bit of cover. Go ahead and roll.
So that's 17 plus 6 is 23 plus 2. So it's a 25 to hit.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Nice.
Aimed perfectly for the talons that are clutching Neb. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And then I get plus 2. I'm sorry, it was a 23 to hit.
You got it.
And then this plus 7 plus 4 is 11. So it's a 13. It's 13 points of damage.
13 damage.
As there is the snow sort of barrels towards its foot, almost forming a point of ice that
Yes.
clashes into it.
Right into
In that soft spot, right in the
right between
plates of the.
It immediately opens its foot, releasing Neb, lifting it off the ground. It says into the air again.
To you too.
Everything shaking, snow falling off the side of the mountain as it has released the grapple on Neb. Anything else, Maeve?
That is it for the moment.
All right, Pivum. turns around, the blood staining his white polar bear fur. Gives a huge growl of a polar bear roar as he gallops towards it, jumping onto its back, attempting to bite and claw into its body. Ooh. All right, here comes the bite first. The bite misses. Here come the claws. The claws hit. $13 damage from the claws. So as he jumps up on the back and the bird begins to, move its wings and move around, it's hard to stay on it. I mean, the polar bear looks like Robin did on its back now, on this creature's back. It looks, just dwarfed by this enormous creature. It is unable to get its jaws through its feathers, but it's able to find through the feathers with its claws. And you again see the bird kind of rear its head back. As he digs in. Neb, your turn. You are awake. The bird has released you. Up above, as you lie there on the ground looking up, you can see it struggling, trying to turn back and peck at Pivum, the polar bear, on its back.
There's a brief moment where she looks confused and then angry. And as she's going to scramble out from under it, you watch as her skin takes on that bluish hue again, and everything just kind of melds into a form that is dark blue with the nebula colors swirling through it. And the last thing you see of her regular body, she's digging into her pants to pull out a rock. And when she doesn't even say anything, but she pulls her arm back to throw her rock at this thing, but it almost looks like she's drawing back a bow in that moment, as she's part of this thing. As I get to make an attack against it. 21 to hit.
Yes, you hit.
So it shoots out like the shooting stars that you've seen her throw before, but this one seems more like an arrow, and it sinks in. It does 8 radiant damage.
Well, it's not a godly creature, but
yeah,
it'll take it.
It's all, And then she finally says something. She's looking up at it, and it's up to you, Deb, whether she still has it's not concentration to speak with animals, but I don't know if going unconscious will ruin that. But she'll say this out loud anyway and say, I just wanted to talk. And I need it to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so I think when you die, your spells end.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
I don't think you still have the talking, but you say that in common, in English.
Oh, yeah.
And a Constitution saving throw?
Yes, please.
Sorry. 25.
Okay. All right. So it succeeds. It's only going to take 1 necrotic damage. And then, you know what? I'm the creature of choice.
There's a tiny little scar along the side of its top.
And that tiny little scar, like a feather comes flying off of it, and she catches it. And she's gonna get some health back as I get to roll an unspent hit dice. And that is the end of my turn as I do that rolling.
Nice. We're back up to Robin, who is aerobically dancing at the top of this mountain. Silas is by your side. The polar bear has bounded off. You can see that Neb is awake, but still lying prone beneath this creature. You didn't stand up, did you, Neb?
I stood up, but I wouldn't have... I wouldn't have gotten into an attack of opportunity.
Yes,
Let's put it that way.
So you are standing, but I mean, she's directly beneath this creature as it, tries to get Pivum off its back. And you see the rest of your friends are on the other side.
Time for this bird to become the prey. And you'll notice this little bit
tagline Robin.
Little bit of a ripple of energy just shoots like a bullet from her mind. And I need an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw.
13.
It fails bad.
Beautiful. It's going to take 14 points of psychic damage. Okay. And on top of that, it cannot It cannot take a reaction until the end of its next turn.
Okay.
And on its next turn, it must choose whether to get a move, an action, or a bonus action. It only gets one of the three.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Woo! All right. So yeah,
Nice.
what did this look like? What did this do as you did this here?
So this energy, this almost ripple through the air like a
Mhm.
bullet, comes from her forehead and just
Uh-huh.
shoots right into this bird's forehead and just knocks it kind of like you just see birds floating around the bird's head.
Birds, birds.
Sweetie bird. Okay, fantastic. It starts shaking its head side to side, momentarily distracted from the bear on its back. You know, and you can see, you know, there is some sort of almost like headachy look to the front of its face as it deals with that. Anything else, Robin?
I think how far am I from the bird?
About 20 feet. Well, I mean, it's so big. You're 10 feet.
Okay, Robin. I guess I don't want to. Is anyone close to Neb besides me? Is
Me kind of, huh?
Everybody's pretty much, you know,
Closer.
the width of the bird, the 20-foot, you know,
Yeah.
okay?
diameter of the bird from Neb. Neb is in the 20 feet. You all are outside it.
Dang it. Okay. Robin's going to. Nope. I'm gonna step back with my expeditious retreat and go down the hill. Maybe I don't know if 60 feet is gonna get me like too far. I don't want to be too far, but I did just hit this thing, so I am gonna kind of expeditious retreat back.
Where? So the path, the bird is between you and the path. Backwards on the path would take you into the nest. You could go down into the bowl.
Oh.
Or
I
off
see.
the other side down the cliff.
Okay, no, then I'll just stand my ground.
Okay. Because you can. I just don't know which direction. Okay, so you're gonna hold your ground for now?
Yeah.
All right. It is the bird's turn. So it has to choose what it's gonna do. Luckily, it's just gonna take its action and try to get this bear off of its back. First, it's gonna try to peck back with its beak. That's gonna hit the bear. Oh, this is so bad. Poor little Pim.
I mean, fortunately, he's got some bear hit points, so.
True.
But yeah. Oh.
If we keep like getting our companions hurt.
I know.
Oh,
We're the
I know.
worst.
Nope,
We're the
nope.
worst.
Oh boy. Okay. The beak. It reaches around Pivum, you know, momentarily dazed by everything that's going on, and it sinks its beak, the pointy pieces of its beak, into Pivum's side, ripping him off of its back and sort of throwing him against the rock at the side. Immediately, the polar bear disappears, and tiny little Pivum drops to the ground right by you, Robin, and Silas at that side of it. Once it's released, it still has its talon attack. Fairuza, you really hit him bad. He's going to take a step forward and raise that.
Is it able to take a step? Because it can't take a move action, right?
It can't. Oh, that's right. It can't. All right. It is. Thank you very much, Adam. Good on ya. It can't take a step, and it does need to be within 5 feet. So you are safe, Fairuza, at this moment. All right. That is the end of its turn. Now your turn, Fairuza. As you see it want to, you know, it's a little slowed down, and its, you know, brain is still fuzzy, but you can see it sort of attempt to take that lunge towards you, but just can't quite get up the mental energy to do it.
Okay, do we, Silas, you, on your turn before, you sort of alluded toward, like, you were gonna, like, do something to the babies.
Oh,
try to
I was
get
murderous
attention.
for the children. Yes.
Okay, I want to see how I can do this. So for one thing about Fairuza right now, like, she realizes that she has this ability to pull into this rage that allows her to do a bunch of really strong attacks. but because she doesn't necessarily want to kill this thing, she's keeping, as she's learning to manage this part of what she is, she's keeping the rage down, but she realizes during this fight that when she does that, there are other things she's capable of. So what she would like to do here is, I would like to imagine that she still has the lightning lure, maybe it's on its ankle, almost like the Wonder Woman, like a Wonder Woman whip. Yeah, she's going to like unleash it and then just sort of like wrap it around its neck if she can. And she wants to like grapple, I guess, grapple it down so that it's down to the ground, like just hit the ground, whatever, sort of, like, you know what I mean? Like kind of like make sure it's just at the ground. Because she doesn't want to kill it, but she wants to control it. So like she can talk to it or, you know, threaten it. I don't know.
So this is the same. You're just attempting a grapple with this thing. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Do the hit. See if you can hit. Or do I make the saving throw? What is the?
Yes.
Strength?
It just was. Yeah, 13.
I did much better. Yeah. That is a 25 again.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't work.
Okay. This is around the ankle, but when you go to pull it closer to you or try to sort of grapple it down to the ground, it snaps, right? The energy just snaps, releasing it from the lasso.
She's just learning how to use it. That's why it is. Maybe she's just learning. And she's like, okay.
Anything else?
And that's all I can do.
Okay. Silas, staring at a baby bird. One of them has fallen to the ground at your feet. Well, one of them has jumped up. You can just see the like tips of the beaks.
So like this thing is something I need to climb into to see inside the nest?
You would have to climb up into the nest to see inside of it, but one of the baby birds is perched on the edge looking at you.
Okay, I'm going to get into the nest as quickly as I can and see what I see.
Okay, you're climbing up into the nest. You'll have to go near the baby bird. Is that okay?
Yeah, that is fine, but if there is a way to get into the nest that is not directly next to the bird, I will choose that path.
Okay.
Okay. I guess what I'm saying is I am not trying to just run through or past the bird.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to just simply get into the nest right now.
Gotcha. So we'll say the bird is kind of perched kind of off towards the overhang area of it. You maybe skirt closer to the wall where you can climb on the sticks and on the rock and pull yourself up to the side. As you get up and peer in, you do indeed see the other two baby birds. You see the remains of this Arctic deer, and now you too do see there is a hole at the bottom of this nest, and a ladder sticking up. And now it's as though the nest has been created around the ladder. It's a very small passageway, but it's just sticks and twigs. But the ladder does appear to go down below the nest.
Okay, so the ladder, though, when you're saying the ladder sticking up, it's just, I see the top of a ladder.
You see the top of a ladder that sort of disappears into the twigs, but you can see there is some space below as if it descends into the rock below.
I don't know how much movement I have used so far, but
with the climb and everything, I think you've used your 30 to get there.
Okay, then I'm using a dash to do more movement and investigate what's going on with the ladder.
All right, you get down to that space. Go ahead and give me an investigation. I'm allow it.
You can do that.
I can do that
plus
for you. 4. Great. As soon as you get close to it, you can feel the sort of dead void air beneath this thing, and as you sort of begin to even pull at it, the twigs and the branches, at least the smaller ones, come away pretty quickly, and you can see there is a ladder that just goes straight down into the rock, down into this mountain, but no, below this nest.
I mean, is there? Can I see the bottom? No. Is there light? Okay, so I wouldn't do that. I don't guess. Okay, yeah, that's fine for now. So what if I have movement left after that, or interact with object or whatever that would be? I am trying to just get down the ladder.
Okay, I'll give you have some movement left. You can go down another, we'll say, if you want 10 feet.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, does this opening look big enough for I assume for the baby birds to get down potentially,
Yes.
but not mom or
No,
dad.
mom is
Yeah.
whatever, the giant bird of prey that they're fighting could not fit down this in the best of circumstances. But the little ones, yes.
That's where I'm going to end up this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay down
So
there.
about 10, you have enough to get sort of 10 feet down.
I don't necessarily want to go that far. Like well, no, 10's fine. 10's
Okay.
fine.
10 is
Yeah,
fine.
10's fine. Yeah.
All right. You make your way down about 10 feet. You have to kind of literally just use your body to break away some of these larger branches, but you have cleared the hole and kind of pull yourself down. As you get down in there, the sound cuts out pretty intensely. This really, is sheltered from the wind and the battle going on above. Maeve, you are up.
Yes, I would like to. Honestly, if what we need to do is get into that nest, I'd like to pull out a pack of matches. Hopefully the babies can fly.
That's
So we
chaotic
can-
evil.
How?
Right now
hang on.
there's a bird between you. There's a gargantuan bird between you and the nest at the moment. If you want to stay on the path, if you want to go off the path, you can try to skirt around it, but it'll take a lot of movement. How do you want to do this? Because you have not yet seen the nest. You know it's there, but you've not actually been up there to look at it.
All we have to do is get this bird out of our way, huh?
That was so ominously said, and I love it.
I mean, that's all. Just, get a massive gargantuan.
How injured is the bird looking in front of us?
Not too bad. I mean, there's some blood. It's definitely missing some feathers. It's limping a little bit, but it's it's got a lot of fight in it. You can tell there's a lot of fight in it.
But Silas is up near the nest, right?
Yes, Silas,
You've
you
seen
saw
him
disappeared.
round the corner.
Silas is, he's all the way over there.
Can I get? I can't. I don't. Grumble. I can't get there. How much movement would it take me to get there?
So you'd have to skirt around it, so 40, 50, 60 to get to the nest, and then and a little more to get into it if you're skirting around the bird.
So it'd be a double move, which I can do. Would I be able? Lighting it would be a separate action, right? I wouldn't be able to do it this turn if I used a double move.
I mean, unless you have, interact with object as a bonus action kind of thing.
No, I don't.
No, you don't have that.
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Then never mind. Scratch that.
Okay. Neb is still there in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
What is your health nav again?
On a scale of 1 to 27, it's a 15.
Okay.
It
Just
was
halfway
way
there.
better than it was a moment ago. Thank you,
bad.
Simon.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna say, are you trying to hit me? And suddenly they're for me.
Okay.
So, we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna start moving up closer in to start thinking about getting her.
Okay, well, I'll offer. So, Robin, your thing that gave it no reaction, that was just till the end of its turn, right? So it would have its
Yes.
reaction back?
Yes.
Okay. With the 4 of you, if it did take an op attack on you, that's, you've got a little
Decent chance. Yeah, I can
decent
try.
chance. So you could still try to do the thing you want to do, but you could do it in you could get there in your one move.
Okay, I'll give that a shot.
Okay, go ahead, give that a shot. All right. So boom.
Well, no,
there's
because
4.
it would be a double move at that point with and I wouldn't have that movement. I only have
No, but
35.
saying, but if you're not going around it to avoid the op attack,
Oh, I would
it's
have a straight shot.
line.
Okay.
So you wouldn't need the double.
Sure.
I'll offer that thought.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and as you run forward, just powering through this bird, in the same direction. I will take a dexterity saving throw because you're running.
Okay.
Although I guess you're not dashing, you're not doing like a thing. So actually, I don't need it.
It's the disengage.
It's
like
the
Silas
disengage
did.
thing. Yeah. That was a different deal. Never mind. I don't need it from you because you're just moving your speed. But yes, we'll get an op attack on you for coming, passing nearby.
Boy.
That is a critical hit. But how do we determine if I hit you or another?
So I need to roll to see if it hits the duplicate instead of me, which I need 6 or higher, which I get.
Yes.
So it's going to hit one of my duplicates.
Okay.
Nice.
Which disappears. So one of the Maeves, we're now down to 3 Maeves. Two are fake. One is real.
which we'll never know. As 4 of you run forward and 3 of you come out the other end, Neb, particularly you, as you are right there, and Fairuza, as you're right there watching, see just the most vicious. It grabs one of those illusions, and of course it immediately just turns to dust, or mist, but its talons, and it just rips what it thinks is physical creature apart,
and
getting
briefly
nothing.
you see 3 Maeves go and flip it its own bird.
Amazing.
And then continue running.
Maeve, you make it through this creature, so you have had an action, you've had a move, you can now see the nest and the baby bird perched on it. The bird seems to be very focused on the center of the nest.
How did the babies look like they can fly yet at all, or
you don't think so? Looking up at them where they are now, they still don't seem to be flighted babies. In fact, it looks a little precarious, a little off balance up there, perched on the top rim.
All I need to do is get them out of that nest, and it won't hurt them. But also, these are trouble, and I kind of don't care at this point. Okay, good to know.
Okay.
I can't. I'll have to light.
Not as of right now.
I'll have to burn things down next turn.
Fantastic. Silas, as you are 10 feet down this chute and you look up, you see 2 baby bird faces look down at you, silhouetted against the blue sky above. It squawks at you and begins to squiggle its way, trying to reach you from there. And I think we'll have to say goodnight here.
It's imprinting.
Can I say one thing real quick?
You can, yes.
Because I pre-rolled it so that I could try to go faster. Neb is gonna stumble out of this thing's being under it, and toss her rock at it again in a shooting star, and she rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
Shoot.
Hold on. All right. Babies are looking down at Silas.
Yeah.
We'll just get to the end of this round. I should have done that anyways. Babies are looking down at Silas, their necks bobbing out, trying to reach you. As they begin to see that they can't, the third one also jumps down, and now 3 of these faces are looking down at you, blocking your way up or anyone else's way is down. Pivum, tiny little gnomey Pivum. Phew, okay, hold on. Here we go.
I'm also happy to wait if we want to.
No, you're
pause
good.
It there,
You're good.
Because it's saved in D&D Beyond, so.
No, it's all good. We're gonna get there. Okay. Little Pivum basically hits the ground, and immediately spins on its place, becoming another very large bird. Certainly not the size of this thing, but it has its own crooked bird of prey beak, a wingspan itself of probably about 8 or 9 feet, as it takes Pivum, takes up off into the air, circles up around this thing, and begins to peck at its head. It's going to try for 2 pecks at it. Oh, and it has advantage because you're there. So that one hits. And the second one hits. Hopefully we'll fill all these. Boom, boom, boom.
We're all like, we want to hit this thing. We don't want to kill this thing. I'm excited that we're hitting this thing. I'm like excited and terrified.
14. He does 14 pecking damage. Piercing damage as he flaps above the head of this thing, just piercing down onto the top of its head as it, kind of tries to take a look at it there. Neb, your turn. In that distraction, as Pivum distracts it as a big vulture creature flying around its head, what do you do?
I stumble back and I head in the direction that I saw Maeve going.
Yep.
Because that's the last thing that I saw.
Yep.
And
Robin's over there.
She's still in her weird blue nebula form, and she tosses her rocket at which shooting stars into it for a natural 20. I can't remember what our natural 20 rules are.
Oh, double the damage.
It's just okay. Just making sure. So I'll roll this twice. So that's 37 radiant damage. Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a meaty spell.
Okay, what does it do?
So it does a ton of damage, and then it starts to glow itself in kind of it's that purplish nebula color, and the next attack roll against it has advantage.
Okay.
And the next attack roll is going to be me, actually, because then as a bonus action, the archer takes an attack as well.
Go for it.
19 to hit.
19 will hit.
All right. That is only 11 radiant damage, as she's just trying to now distract it from Pivum.
All right. This thing erupts, the edges of its feathers singed with holy power and pain, holy pain, as it continues to squawk. This point, it opens its wingspan again, this enormous 40 feet reaching out from tip to tip. As you can see, it's gonna try to take off on its next turn. It is still standing, it is still powerful and strong. Fairuza, you are the only one left on that other side of it. But as it, opens its wings and turns to kind of take all of you in, it now can sort of sense and hear the squawk of its babies around the corner. And with that, we will take our break this week. We'll see you next week where we can finish this up, find out who wins.
Oh, God.
Thank you all so much for being with us here tonight. And remember that life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.